Hello! In this video, we're going to walk through the Scrutinizer licensing page inside the admin section and answer the most common licensing questions we receive. You can find this view under Admin, Plixer, Scrutinizer Licensing. So let's walk through these fields and explain what they all mean. At the top, you'll see the product license. In this example, the system is running Plixer One Enterprise. This tells you which license tier is currently applied. Core and Enterprise have different capabilities. Enterprise includes advanced analytics, machine learning engine, an expanded replicator capacity, and high availability. Other IPFIX, other functionality. If you're ever unsure which feature set you should have access to, this field is the first place to check. Next is Status. Status shows the status of your license. Correlates traffic across devices and interfaces. It provides dashboards, reports, alarm policies, and delivers network intelligence and security reporting. When you're using the product inside Plixer Scrutinizer, you can do things like see top talkers, bandwidth consumers, trace conversations between hosts, review historical traffic during an outage, even investigate suspicious behavior with full context. When a user says, finds the network slow, or when security sees something unusual, Plixer Scrutinizer gives them both the same shared data to investigate what actually happened. It's the foundation on which Plixer is built. Next, let's talk about the Plixer Replicator. Plixer Replicator is a network UDP-based telemetry distributor. You direct UDP-based telemetry at the Plixer Replicator as a destination. This can include things like NetFlow, IPFIX, syslogs, other supported UDP exports. Plixer Replicator then manages how that telemetry is forwarded and other systems using configuration profiles. With these profile-based controls, you can do things like define which reporters forward to which collectors and replicate telemetry to multiple destinations. You can support high availability through pairing of either exporters or collectors. And then within the products, you can do things like configure these profiles and determine where flow or log data goes next. Instead of configuring dozens of devices with multiple destinations, you point them to the replicator once. Plixer Replicator then handles the distribution logic from there. This simplifies operations, it reduces configuration errors, and gives you scalable telemetry management as your environment grows. Here, it shows valid. Other fields will show invalid, expired, or even evaluation for a proof of concept or proof of value. If the status ever shows invalid or expired, you need to contact Plixer support or your account team to generate a new license key. Days left. Below that is the days left. In this example, the subscription will expire in 213 days. This is your countdown timer. It helps you plan renewals before expiration. If this number is getting low, it's time to engage your Plixer representative or support team so there is no disruption to reporting or analytics. If this ever hits zero, collection will stop and access to the product will be restricted. Customer ID is next. This identifies your organization or the environment the license is issued to. If you ever open a support case, you may be asked to provide this value. This is how we identify which customer we're talking to and which systems or licenses the customer owns. Machine ID right below it is critical. This is the unique identifier tied to this specific Scrutinizer deployment. When generating or updating a license key, Plixer uses this machine ID to create a valid license. If you migrate the system to a new hardware or deploy a new virtual license, the machine ID will change. That means a new license key will be required. This is one of the most common licensing questions we receive. The next is server count. Functionality. With Plixer Scrutinizer integrated, Plixer FlowPro can detect known threat signatures. It can identify suspicious traffic patterns or generate security-enriched telemetry. This allows performance and security insight to come from the same traffic source. Plixer FlowPro extends visibility where native device exports are limited and strengthens both NetOps troubleshooting and SecOps investigation. This reflects the maximum number of servers or reporters allowed under your license. It defines how many licensed Scrutinizer servers can operate under this subscription. If you attempt to deploy beyond your license count, this system will not allow additional reporters or servers without updating the license. Note that in many product types, an unlimited collector option is provided. However, this server count field will always have a value to it. So, should you have one of those unlimited license types and you need more servers than what are displayed here, just contact support and a new license can be generated. The report account shows how many reporting list instances are allowed. Reporters are responsible for analyzing and storing flow data. They are the central UI for the system. In distributed deployments, you may have multiple reporters for both scale and/or redundant. Exporters are things such as routers, switches, firewalls, Cloudflow log sources, or probes that generate NetFlow or IPFIX. If you exceed this number, additional exporters may not be accepted until the license is expanded. This is important for growth planning. Deployed servers. The deployed service field shows how many servers are currently active and consuming licenses. In this example, one server is deployed. This helps you compare what you're using versus what you're entitled to with the server count field. Enabled exporters. This shows a count of how many exporters are currently configured and active. This helps you monitor utilization against your licensed exporter limit. If you're close to your exporter cap, it may be time to evaluate expansion. At the bottom, you'll see the license field. This is where you paste the license key provided by Plixer to update or So, how does this all work together? The Plixer One platform connects all the pieces. Plixer Scrutinizer collects and analyzes the flow data as well as serves as your central user management console. Plixer Replicator manages and distributes UDP telemetry centrally or externally. Plixer FlowPro enriches performance metrics and adds IDS detection through Scrutinizer. Plixer Machine Learning Engine identifies anomalies and predicts trends. And Plixer Endpoint Analytics ties traffic to users and devices. Together, they provide one unified visibility across performance and security. You can see what happened, measure why it happened, and respond with confidence. Schedule a demo today for Plixer One and its components at Plixer.com.